You're exceeding budget?
We are exceeding our budget.
You're making a profit?
We are. I didn't say that. I said we're exceeding our budget.
Tesco anticipated it would finally break even in 2014, but the brand...
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, Sia?
Today we are back with another American reaction. We're super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit the red subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell, because we're on the road to 50K. And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Yes. Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
When you think about London, the obvious landmarks come to mind: Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and the Tower Bridge. But there is an unofficial staple in the UK that extends well beyond the country: Tesco. It's the largest retailer in the UK with over 3,400 stores. The brand has been met with success abroad in Europe and Asia, with international operation profits of over $500 million in 2018. There are more than 6,500 stores worldwide, but there is one place that the UK retailer just didn't take off: the United States. Tesco announced its US expansion in 2006, and at the time, Tesco was the third biggest retailer on the planet. But the brand just didn't click with Americans. Tesco left the US in 2013 when it sold off its remaining stores to Yucaipa companies.
I've never
heard of
why Tesco failed in the US? Let's go back to the company's start.
When did it pop in the
Tesco
US?
got its start in 1919 when Jack Cohen began selling surplus groceries from a stall in London's East End. The first official Tesco store opened 10 years later with the idea of bringing affordable foods to the people of Great Britain. In the 1930s and 1940s, Tesco expanded across London and the suburbs. Tesco went public on the London Stock Exchange in 1947, and in the 1950s, it opened its first supermarket. Starting in the 1990s, Tesco set its sights on global expansion. Tesco had stores in the Czech Republic, Poland, Ireland, Thailand, Malaysia, and India. By 2007, Tesco had over 1,300 stores in 12 countries. In that same year, the company invested roughly $500 million to establish operations in the United States. And in November of 2007, Tesco entered the US market. Instead of going by the name Tesco, these stores opened under the name Fresh and Easy. The name was supposed to introduce Americans to what they would expect from shopping at Tesco in America.
I've never seen this store. Do you remember that?
Is that not what Organifi?
What?
Organifi?
What's that?
What they send you already homemade meal prep food?
Oh, like Home Fresh?
Yeah, Home Fresh. Fresh and that's what I'm thinking. I seen Fresh, so I'm thinking Fresh. Home Fresh. It's not Home Fresh?
Nah, I don't know. I've never seen that
thing they got coming out. That came out already. People use this. Okay. Yeah. Nah, I've never seen this one, but it looked real familiar for some reason. I don't think I'm familiar with it though.
Fresh food at a reasonable price. It also had small store formats to make shopping simpler, and it offered lower prices under its company-owned labels. For Americans, the shopping experience at Tesco was a lot different from what they were used to. Fresh and Easy stores were a fraction of the size of the average American grocery store. They were designed for the kind of consumer who shops daily. There were more ready-to-go meals for consumers than your typical American grocery store. And there were lots of self-service checkouts.
So whenever he says shop daily, I'm guessing food expire quicker. I seen the prices are mad lower.
They have a lot of ready-made foods.
Right, so it's ready to sell instantly. So
was it like what Amazon is doing now with the little stores that you can go in and just, the foods?
What store?
The Amazon stores. We don't have them here, but
the Amazon stores. Yeah,
where you can go in to get, kind of like Dash Mart, but the people actually go in and.
You got to be quick to grab it. And the restock comes in just as quick.
And they check out on their phone. Yeah.
It's similar to that. Sound like it.
It kind of sounds like Whole Foods, but...
Our Whole Foods. Yeah. It just gives me those foods... Like, it's even the idea that the food expires way quicker than it needs to.
Daily
it sells
shoppers.
Quicker. The money comes in faster for them. Type of thing.
Yeah, daily shoppers.
Typical American grocers are really big compared to Tesco's. They're designed for a shopper who shops in bulk and on a weekly basis.
See?
That means checkout counters are typically staffed with clerks and baggers, and there are more brand names on shelves. And there isn't nearly as big an emphasis on ready-to-go meals.
The designation Fresh and Easy is is actually a very good sub-branding. In other words, fresh and easy, pretty much sums up the two key attributes that they were selling. Freshness of the product and convenience.
The first of Tesco's 53 fresh and easy stores all launched in the West in states like California, Arizona, and Nevada. So how did Tesco come up with its strategy for the U.S.? They actually embedded with the American consumer before entering the market. Tesco sent executives and anthropologists to live with families in the U.S. to get a sense of how the typical American family spends their money on groceries.
And they put a large number of people, maybe 40 people,
into
California to research the market. But these people did not research the market very intelligently. They understood the culture to a degree. The concept of these fresh and easy stores, these small convenience stores with fresh and easy food,
like an Aldi's,
that was something
smaller convenience
would
stores.
Work in London with Tesco Express.
Yeah, like an Aldi's. Like you walk in at Aldi's and you can only get like maybe something at that moment. You come back again 2 days later, it's gonna be spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Again, we do have baby girl in the studio with us today, and she's feeling pretty little mild today, you guys. So just give her a little, give her a little time.
Give her a little grace. I don't know anyone who shops every day.
Nah,
for
neither
food.
do I. Yeah.
Like we're, weekly. A lot of us shop in bulk, especially if you have children. Especially during the times we're in now, we like to, have our home stocked up.
It looks good. It feels good.
Yeah. You feel happy when you go up in the pantry and you see all the food.
Don't touch it, though.
Feel like a little store, know? Right. So, I daily shoppers. But you know what? Like, in places like California, or they could have, opened up these shops by, like, plants. And, truck stops. They could have opened it there.
That is smart. That makes a lot of sense. People can eat on the go.
For the average consumer, I don't know.
Not for the neighborhood.
Yeah, not for the neighborhood.
Well, maybe not for the neighborhood. I want to say neighborhood.
College.
College, around colleges. In the LA area.
And at Tesco's peak in the United States, they had 208 fresh and easy banner stores, and all were in the West. That was actually well below expectations. Tesco initially planned to open 200 stores by the end of 2008, but it ultimately wanted to open 1,000 stores. But by 2013, the retailer was hemorrhaging cash in its first 5 years in the US. The company racked up losses of over $1.5 billion.
Are sales improving on a weekly basis?
Every week.
Are they meeting Tesco's original targets?
Our sales are improving every week, and we're very happy. We're exceeding budget.
You're exceeding budget?
We are exceeding our budget.
You're making a profit?
We are. I didn't say that. I said we're exceeding our budget.
Tesco anticipated it would finally break even in 2014, but the brand decided not to wait it out. It announced in April 2013.
It's like I got what's a good one? I got a shirt company. That's easy. I got a shirt company. I print shirts. I sell the shirts for $15, but it takes me $25 to actually. That's too much actually, but it takes me $25 to invest back into the clothing.
Right, you're not gonna make a profit.
I'm here with it. It's maintaining it, but I'm not here with it. You know what I'm saying? Want to be here with it. And that's what it sounded like he was basically saying.
It don't sound like they was making a profit at all.
It's like we got the people coming in, but we not pocketing nothing.
Again, I mean, they use, if I heard correctly, they use people in California to research the market. And they only put their stores in the West.
Yeah, he said mainly the West. East?
West? I think he said West. If they would have, like, thought on the average consumer in America.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of people like, people who have different family dynamics. I don't know anyone who shops daily for food.
Right.
They should have placed it in areas where people would need ready to eat food. Like college campuses, truck stops. That's really all I can think of.
California though.
California.
California's California is huge.
She just
Growling. And I think that's one reason why they probably let it be more so in California because of the population. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't even get to U.S. yet.
Tesco would exit the U.S. market.
Well,
What
yeah,
went so
it's
wrong with
US.
Tesco in the U.S.?
California.
When Tesco launched in America, its stores were all located in the West.
At the time they decided to enter the U.S. market, they'd just done their research. They had found that per capita spending at supermarkets in the western states where they had targeted was higher than any other region in the country. Actually, about 15% higher than the national average in 2007.
But then the financial crisis of 2008 hit. Like many other companies, Tesco didn't see the Great Recession coming.
Nah, they wasn't standing. They couldn't stand it.
Two of the core metropolitan areas that they had decided to focus on were Phoenix and Las Vegas. When the recession hit, the economy in those two metro regions cratered. The subprime mortgage crisis and the Great Recession was going to be bad news for anybody. But their particular geographic focus in the West meant that it was particularly bad news for them.
Yeah,
Tesco's locations also happen to be in
board.
some of the states affected most by the Great Recession. Arizona, California, and Nevada saw unemployment rates that are higher than the national average. Consumers in these states also cut back on spending, and when they did spend, they went to retailers that offered the lowest prices possible.
But just in general, in terms of entering the market, in terms of the recession, this is a really bad time to kind of have this message that Fresh and Easy espoused of having, hey, fresh and healthy products at a competitive price. Because as consumers look to stretch their budgets as far as possible when the recession hits, they turn to well-known retailers that held long-standing reputations for low prices.
These stores were also in areas where there wasn't much foot traffic.
So they ended up acquiring leases on a large number of properties that were basically on the wrong side of the road. In other words, they were on the inbound commuting side of the highway instead of the outbound or going home side of the highway.
That plays a big difference. That's
so
crazy.
You can see immediately that, you know, people are going to go straight by them on the way into work when you want to go in to get something to eat on the way home from work. They're on the wrong side of the road.
See, so what he basically just said was that what you said. People coming home from work and going into work. It's like that location was simply made for quick stops. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
fresh and easy.
fresh and easy.
That's the problem. Tesco also faced pushback by the American consumers. The Fresh and Easy stores didn't embrace the idea of the classic American grocer. Instead, they embraced Tesco's British style of food shopping. American grocery shoppers tend to gravitate toward larger stores that have everything under one roof. But the Fresh and Easy chains were approximately 1/5 the size.
Yeah, and we know a lot of y'all don't like Walmart. You know, we know that. So it's funny when they say that we shop at retail stores that have everything under one roof.
Yeah.
So it's Walmart, that's our Target, that used to be our Kmart. Kmart coming back? I think Kmart's coming back.
They trying, I think.
Yeah, so that's why we gravitate towards those stores, because we don't want to go to this store then have to go to a clothing store. No, if we're going for a vacation, we know that we can go to Walmart, we can go to Target, and get everything that we need under one roof. Right.
It's really genius.
Size of the typical American grocery store. The reason for the smaller store footprints is because Tesco's typical shopper shops at the store daily. Smaller stores make it easier for shoppers in the UK to grab what they need on the day-to-day basis and go home. But American consumers tend to grocery shop in bulk on a weekly basis. Plus, the Fresh and Easy stores also place a substantial focus on ready-to-go meals, which are a big seller in the UK and Europe. Tesco built a massive distribution center in Riverside, California, complete with commercial kitchens that help churn out these prepared meals. But Americans are more accustomed to ordering takeout or cooking meals themselves. Then there were the safety issues with Tesco's food that turned away American shoppers.
To address food safety issues, Fresh and Easy stores offered produce that was wrapped together in cellophane bundles. Now, consumers in the U.S., however, and that might have worked in the UK or in Europe, but consumers in the U.S., they're picky when it comes to getting their produce, because people want to be able to touch their produce before buying. However, because the food was wrapped, or the produce was wrapped in cellophane, people weren't able to do that. And additionally, if they wanted, for example, like one one item, like one onion or one.
No, but again, you're right. Yeah, people will rather like we do. We want to like pick it up, you know, look at it. And people want to buy single-handed items like that. But I get what they were saying. I was going to actually say maybe they need to do something to where they can make a sale that outstands every other, you know, convenience store. Like a Walmart or whatnot. So that was a great idea, but it was for the wrong product.
Right.
I don't know. Like bananas are going to sell in bulk, but onions, you got your Trinity, but you don't want a big bag of onions. Not onions, bell peppers. I'm sorry. You want a big bag of green bell peppers.
Some of them may be bad. That's like with strawberries.
Right.
You know, no, let's not talk strawberries. Well, yeah. Let's talk grapes. Grapes. How our grapes are set up when they put it on the little cooling thingamajiggy, they keep it open so that we can actually take a peek in and make sure there's no rotten grapes in there, you know, things like that. So yeah, we're picky people.
So that's two bad things that they had. It was on the wrong side of the highway, and then they were selling bulk load things that people usually don't buy.
No, they wasn't selling things bulk.
Peppers,
they was wrapping everything
it in bulk.
Yeah, so we couldn't, you know, touch it.
Right.
They were not able to do that. They would have to buy it kind of in wrapped with multiple items.
Tesco's Fresh and Easy chains didn't go after big retailers like Target and Walmart. They tried to target a niche market of consumers.
Yeah, who's they
But the
competing
stores
with?
just simply didn't resonate with the American shoppers.
They didn't compete
In
with
the end, Tesco pulled out in 2013 at the cost of several $1 billion. It sold off its stores and its distribution and production facilities to Yucaipa companies. Yucaipa acquired more than 150 store locations, while the others were shuttered by Tesco. Tesco also ended up loaning Yucaipa companies $120 million to take over the Fresh and Easy brand. But just 2 years later after the sale, Yucaipa began to close down the remaining Fresh and Easy stores, and in 2015, the company filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, wow.
CNBC reached out to Tesco about the company's time in the US, but the company did not respond to any questions. But Tesco isn't the only British supermarket to fail in the US. Sainsbury's exited the US in 2004, and Marks & Spencer's called it quits in 2006. So Tesco's ill-fated attempt to break into the US wasn't totally unprecedented, but it did turn out to be one of the biggest failures yet, and resulted in major losses for the UK retailer.
Nah, that's all good though. Nothing wrong with that. I just feel like, you know, you just got to get out there and try to see what works, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. He didn't have to put in them other grocery stores like that. He didn't have to throw them under the bus. This is about Tesco.
Tesco.
Let it be about Tesco.
Yeah, so this was really different. You know, we have been seeing, you know, our American stores and restaurants failing in other countries.
Facts.
We've been reacting to that. So it was different for us to see, you know, a British company wasn't able to be successful in the United States. And honestly, I just feel like, you know how we have like Whole Foods and what's another store that I can compare them to? I don't really know. Maybe a gas station. Because it kind of sounds like a, you know, a rest stop.
Man, if y'all would put a gas station to that.
Or if they would put it by the truck stops, like the, what do you call it on the highway? The rest stops.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Maybe they would have, you know, been more successful. It looked like they came in, they surveyed, you know, a specific niche. That's what they wanted to go after. And I think that was a problem as well, because they shouldn't have just, the United States is very diverse.
Very.
They shouldn't have stayed on one side of the map. They should have put it, you know, if I was the Tesco CEO, I would have went to all the college towns. College children, especially freshmen, 9 times out of 10, a lot of them don't know how to cook. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of them, you know, they're stressed or they don't have time to cook.
Facts.
So they need fresh and ready meals, you know.
You're right, yep.
I was a college student. I knew how to cook, but I didn't have a stove in my suites.
Right.
So I would have liked to, you know, go pick up food at a store that was already made, or, you know, go get food daily or something like that. I think one of the biggest failures about this whole thing was they only stuck on the west side of the map.
Yeah, I think they just need, this is off the topic of Tesco. This is going on something different that feeds my tummy. I think they just need a grocery store that sells strictly seafood.
Ooh,
Like just a whole cooler.
But they
store.
do.
But where?
Seafood places.
Name one. Name one.
Seafood places.
I'm waiting.
The fish market.
The fish market. The one that you walk in and out.
Food?
No, I'm talking about literally fish. So many type of fish. They got that in maybe out the country. Where? That's little though. I'm talking about a big one, like the size of a Tesco or the size of a Aldi's.
I don't know about that, but you know they got fish market.
Like where they have the seafood bucket and you got like your shrimp that's still swimming alive and you got your lobsters still, like how they used to do back in the day with Walmart.
Lobsters and
you got your crabs over here. You got your oysters. You got your, because if you walk in these Walmart stores, you can see they on ice. And you walk in the fish store, you can see it in these little mini freezers.
You should do it.
You should help me.
You should do that. I will help you with anything.
Okay, I know you will, baby. I think that would be a good idea, though.
Yeah. So yeah, it was different to see something not working in the United States.
And it wasn't because they went bankrupt. Well, they did go bankrupt.
They wasn't making profit.
They wasn't just making enough profit because they stuck. The idea was good, but whenever it started to hit the fan, wrong side of the highway. It wasn't packaged how we're used to. Yeah.
Because if we can't see the food, we're not gonna get it.
Right.